50, an incomplete list. Actually, it wasn't poetry. Not yet. So far, it was just a list of words that he wanted to turn into a poem. The first word on the list was jelly. Jelly was followed by giant donut, which was in turn followed by a sprinkle. The list continued on with these words: Rita, sunny side up, Pascal, giant squid, little shepherdess, vanquished, Capacious, cork, universe expanding, Blundermican, banished. The list ended with the words of Dr. Meekan's goodbye. I promise to always turn back toward you. The words were good words. Ulysses felt, maybe even great words, but the list was very incomplete. He was just getting started. The words needed to be arranged, fused with, put in the order of his heart. All of this is to say that when Flora's mother read the list out loud, it didn't sound terribly impressive. Gosh, that sounds swell poetry, said George Buckman. Not really, said William Spiver. There's no point in lying to him, even if he is a squirrel. It's actually pretty lousy poetry. But I do like the last part, the part about turning back. That has some emotional heft to it. Well, I think it is just great, said Flora's mother, and I'm glad to welcome another writer into the family. She patted Ulysses on the head, too forcefully, he felt. The pet approached violence. We are going to be one happy little family, said Flora's mother. She gave Ulysses another whack, disguised as a pet. Really? Said Flora. Oh yes, said Flora's mother. There was a knock at the back door. Yoo-hoo! Someone called out. Tootie! thought Ulysses. Tootie! Said Flora. Mrs. Tickham, said Flora's mother. Do come in. We were just reading some words that the squirrel typed. Ha! We were reading some squirrel poetry. William, said Tootie. I've been calling and calling you. I didn't hear you. Well, I must admit that I wasn't calling very loudly, said Tootie. What did Ulysses type? Flora's mother read the list of words again. Tootie put her hand over her heart and said, Oh, those last lines are beautiful, heartbreaking. Those last lines are the only bit of coherence in the whole thing, said William Beaver. I've been inspired by Ulysses to write a little poetry of my own, said Tootie. Ulysses felt himself puff up. He had inspired Tootie. He turned and sniffed his tail. I'd like to read your poetry, Tootie, said Flora. Well, we should have a poetry reading at some point. I'm sure Ulysses would enjoy that. The squirrel nodded. Yes, he would enjoy that. He would also enjoy a bite to eat. Dr. Miskin's jelly sandwich had been wonderful, but that was a long time ago. He would like to eat, and he would like for Tootie to read poetry to him, and he would like to work on his own poem. Also, he would like for Flora's mother to quit pounding him on the head, which she was doing again now. William, said Tootie, your mother called for you. Did she? Said William Beaver. His voice was squeaky with hope. Really? Did she ask for me to come home? Unfortunately not, said Tootie. But it's dinner time. Come home with me and eat something. Home, thought Ulysses. That's a good word. And dinner is a good word too. He turned back to the typewriter. He searched for the H. Things were very strange. Her mother insisted that they sit together at the dinner room table. The three of them. She also insisted that Ulysses sit in a chair, which was ridiculous, because if he sat in a chair, He wouldn't be able to reach the table. He can sit here with me, said Flora. Oh, no, no. I want him to feel welcome. I want him to know that he literally has a chair at our table. Her mother had held the chair out and Ulysses had climbed onto it. And then she slid the chair all the way under the table. It was enough to break your heart watching his whiskered, hopeful face as it disappeared beneath the tablecloths. If her mother hadn't been acting so strange, Flora would have said something, would have argued more vehemently. But her mother was acting strange, very, very strange. Not only was her voice robotic, she was also saying things that she never would have said before, expressing sentiments that seemed to be at odds with the mother Flora had always known. For instance, wanting a squirrel to have a chair at the table. For instance, encouraging Flora to have a second helping of macaroni and cheese. For instance, saying nothing about Flora's potential stoutness as Flora consumed the second helping of macaroni and cheese. It was almost as if her mother were possessed. Terrible things can happen to you. Had done an issue entitled Devils, Diebugs, and Curses. Apparently, throughout history, people who acted strange had been accused of being inhabited by the devil or a demon, or an alien from outer space. According to terrible things, these people were most likely not possessed. Rather, their psyches had been pushed by extraordinary events to the breaking point, and they had experienced a sort of nervous collapse. Flora's guess was what a typing. Flying squirrel was much more than Flora's mother psyche could manage. She had been pushed to the brink. She was suffering from some kind of nervous breakdown. Either that or she was possessed. Of course, Flora's father had been pushed to the brink too, but everything to do with Ulysses had affected him differently. It had cheered him up somehow, maybe because the holy bugumbaness of it all had reminded him of incandescent and dollars and also of the possibility of impossible things. Can't I come live with you? Flora had said to her father when he left that night. Absolutely you can come live with me, said her father, but your mother needs you know. She doesn't need me, said Flora. She said that her life would be easier without me. I think that your mother has forgotten how to say what she means, said her father. Plus, said Flora, she hates Ulysses. I can't live with someone who hates my squirrel. Give her a chance, said her father. Right, said Flora. As her father left the house that night, Flora had whispered the words of Dr. Mitchell's goodbye to him, and even though there was no way he could hear her, Flora was disappointed when her father didn't turn around back toward her. But anyway, here she was, giving her mother a chance, which, as far as Flora could tell, meant watching Phyllis Bachman use the candle on the dinner room table to light cigarette after cigarette. Flora fully expected that at some point, her mother's hair would catch on fire. What did you do when somebody's hair caught fire? It had something to do with a throw rug. You beat them over the head with a throw rug. That was it. Flora looked around the dining room. Did they even own a throw rug? She caught sight of the little shepherdess standing at the bottom of the stairs. Mary Ann was looking at Flora and her mother with a jaded and judgmental eye. For once, Flora agreed with the lamp. Things were out of control. Her mother said, "Well, it is such a delight to spend time with the members of my family, rodent and otherwise. But my head hurts, and I think that I will go upstairs and rest my eyes for a while." "Okay," said Flora. "I'll clear the table." "Lovely. So very thoughtful." After her strange mother climbed the stairs, Flora pulled back Ulysses' chair. He hopped up on the table and considered the plate full of macaroni and cheese. He looked at Flora. "Go ahead," she said. "It's for you." He picked up a single noodle and held it in his paws, admiring it. Watching him, Flora suddenly remembered a panel from the illuminated adventure of the amazing Incandesto. It was a picture of Alfred's sleeper standing at a darkened window. His hands were behind his back and the dollars was on his shoulder, and Alfred was looking out the window and saying, "I'm alone in the world, dollars, and I'm homesick for my own kind." The squirrel ate the noodle and picked up another one. There was cheese sauce on his whiskers. He looked happy. "I'm homesick," said Flora. "I miss my father." Ulysses looked up at her. "I miss William Stieber." Talk about a sentence you could never predict you would say. "I even miss my mother," thought Flora, "or I miss the person she used to be." It was dark outside. Her mother was upstairs. Her father was at the Blixen Arms. William Beaver was next door. The universe was expanding, and Flora Bill Buckman was homesick for her own kind.